Hey everybody, it's Mr. Caudill. I hope you're doing okay. Um, I'm doing okay. It's what day is Wednesday, March 3rd, and tomorrow I'm getting my second shot of the vaccine. I'm super excited for it. However, I don't know what that's going to look like as far as me being available. So I am just going to record this real fast, this activity for you. And what I'd like you to do is I would like you to move this. I'd like you to get out a piece of paper and write at the top of it a cold, hard look at culture. Go ahead and put your name on that. We're going to do 9 questions on page 57 and 58, but we're going to start at page 55 in our textbook. I want you to think about this question for a moment. What is cultural evolution? We know what biological evolution is. We've been watching that movie on Lucy. We can see how organisms change over time. But what about culture? Has that evolved over time? Do we do things differently than we did a year ago, 10 years ago, 100 years ago? Well, this is what the model family was when I was a kid. These are the cleavers. This is Beaver Cleaver down here, and he had the perfect family. They had a white picket fence. They had dinner on the table every night. The guy wore a suit at every moment in his house. I couldn't believe it. But anyway, this was the model. Well, now this might be the model, or maybe it isn't the model any longer. This is from a few years ago. The point is that culture has changed over time, and we're going to study that today for a half hour or so. We could look at the evolution of being a hipster as showing. I guess this is just in 20 years how being cool has changed for some group of people. Let me show you a little bit more on cultural. Okay, so that's how one person defines cultural evolution. Here's what I'd like you to do right now. Go to page 55 in your textbook. You should have the pages there, right there in Schoology. Go ahead and read all the way down to the brown bar in page 56. Go ahead and press pause. Well, I'm back. We are, as the last paragraph told you, going to study this guy. He is a guy, a hunter who died in the Alps. This is in northern Italy. I'll show you exactly where that is. It's way up there, and his body was frozen in a glacier. Since the world has been warming, the glacier has been receding, and his body. Here's where it is, way up there. Some hikers found it. You can see some hikers down there at the bottom. And there's a little hut down there where people sleep. But I bet it was pretty weird for some people to see like this frozen body that looks like this just a few hundred yards from where they had been sleeping the night before. It's pretty gross. But the point is that this guy was basically frozen in time. His culture was. And so we don't have to look back 10 years or 20 years. Now we have an opportunity to look back thousands of years and see how culture has changed or evolved over time. So here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to start with number one. I'm on page 56 here. Go ahead, and we would do this in class. I'm sorry. Go all the way through 2 and 3. If it asks you to write anything, just write it on that piece of paper that you created at the beginning of class. Go all the way to number 4, where it says watch the video segment, A Glimpse of the Iceman. I'm going to show you that video segment. So please pause. Here's the video segment. Okay, so you just have a few things left to do, and that is just answer questions 5 through 9. Obviously, it says do it with your team, but you're just going to do it alone. Question 7 talks about the ability for you to use evidence to make conclusions and the ability for you to use inference to make conclusions. So, obviously, evidence is when you see or have something in front of you that you could use. To infer means that you have a bunch of information, but you have to take a leap of faith. You don't really have everything you need to make a concluding statement on something, but sometimes you just have to go for it. Especially with Lucy, we're just inferring what she looked like based on some information that we had, maybe a few bits of bones. Um, Same with this guy. We're inferring what he did culturally, and then we're going to make some comparisons between the way he lived culturally and the way we currently live culturally. Thanks. Write me if you have any questions, and I hope that you have a good, safe weekend. Stay positive, my friends. We're getting close to the end, hopefully, or maybe